This is going to be your weekly chakra tarot and oracle check-in. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies you may be experiencing throughout your chakras. So as usual, I'm curious to know how you're feeling today. What's your vibe, the energy in the air? I kind of feel like today there's tension, and I would describe it as people being on edge, maybe overwhelmed, feeling maybe at their wits' end. Like, how many of you just feel like you're absolutely exhausted or you have a lack of patience? I think that a lot of people are struggling with, collective fear, what's going on in the world, anxiety, new beginnings happening very soon, but we just don't know what those look like yet. And everybody's trying to plan and figure out every detail. So let's take a look at the overall themes and messages for this reading today. Now, one other thing of note that I should mention is that Mercury has now moved into Aquarius. So I would picture that energy as like somebody who's very methodical, almost like scientific, or like a scientist or mathematician, or somebody who's like a visionary, and piecing all the information together. Now, yes, it's nice to plan, but we don't have to plan every little detail. But that's what the communication may feel like for the next little while. So again, let's take a look at the overall themes and messages for this reading today. And we have a bubble power. My wishes float easily out into the world. This is what I'm wanting today. I'm wanting the energy to be free flowing. Go with the flow. Don't get caught up on the little details. We don't have to know every little thing. I would just say that it's really important right now to set your intentions and let go of the attachments. Now I have these ginormous chakra cards here that I recently pulled out, and I haven't used them in ages. And so I just used them the other day, and now I'm kind of drawn to them again. Look at the mind, openness, flexibility, imagination, and learning. And this is my whole point, where I said, I want us to be free flowing. I want us to be open, not attaching anything to an outcome. Okay. Now I do find this interesting that is a number 38 card, and 8 plus 3 is 11. And that is new beginnings. I saw that in the weekly reading that I filmed the other day, actually using those cards. And yeah, 11s are new beginnings, spiritual ascension, a gateway. And look, between worlds, this is my point. How many of you feel like you are between two worlds right now? You're not in the old, you're not in the new yet. You're just kind of sitting on the fence a little bit, maybe even afraid to go into the new energy, So let's take a look at the Chakra Wisdom Tarot. We're going to look at each chakra in the body. And what I love about this deck is that it represents all the different chakras. So we get kind of double messages in regards to things we may be encountering. So let's start off with the root chakra and see what we need to know about the foundation right now in our life. And we have the Sun, the Yes card, the happiest card in the deck. But the one thing I will say about this card is that it can also mean the ego. And we have to be careful that we're not coming from a place of fear. So the Sun card, as wonderful as it is, if you're wearing a false self mask, not living your authentic truth, you're coming from a place of fear, or your intentions, although well-intended, come from a place of fear, you're confusing. Okay, you're confusing yourself, you're confusing the universe. So let's see what we need to know about this energy. We'll know more in a second. The man, masculine energy. Now, interesting, the Sun is divine masculine. So the man card here is all about forward motion. Doesn't have to be about gender, right? It's just the masculine energy within us. Now, I always remind people that masculine energy, if this is about a relationship you're watching this for, or you're thinking about, you don't want to be in your masculine energy chasing another person, especially someone who's running, okay? But if this is for your own personal growth and evolution, then absolutely, pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue. See, here's the thing. We had this card, I believe, last week. Every week seems to be a continuation, or there's a connection. And I'm not a fan of this card. I've never been a fan of the imagery on this card, because yes, it's about, humiliation or finding fault or punishment, feeling shut down. And maybe that's a bit of the energy. Maybe some of you are feeling a bit shut down, you know, or you're avoiding the new. But this also says be vulnerable. And if there's one word I like on this card, it's be vulnerable. And so, you know, looking at what we have here in the root chakra, this could be about opening yourself up to new things, being vulnerable, seeing what happens, you know, taking it as it comes. We can't necessarily plan everything or know every detail. And what I kind of like is how the sun just sort of like came out here as I was filming this, and we had the sun card. So let's take a look at Venus. And Venus is the sacral chakra. Self-worth, self-value, self-respect. It's how you spend money, you know, how you value yourself. Let's see. The Empress, there's Venus right there. It's like the universe just went, I said what I said. The Empress is all about birthing a whole new cycle, being creative, doing what you're passionate about. Okay, let's take a look at the oracle cards to see what else we need to know. Oh, we got kitty cats who now want to play, of course, while I'm filming. The key. Well, number 33 could be an angel number that you're seeing that represents master teacher. And I'm looking at number 3 right here in both worlds. You know what's funny? It's like I picture that number 3 on this card, like right going into the middle here, you know, 333, where it's like, are you in the old? Are you in the new? You have the key. I mean, are you locking the door? You know, are you blocking yourself? Or are you unlocking yourself? Which one is it? Because obviously we could look at it from different perspectives. But to me, I feel like this is time to open yourself up, you know, to go after the new cycle, to be creative. Okay, let's see what else you need to know. There you go, breaking free. And you know what's funny? That card says breakout, breaking free, rebellious, on the verge. It's just that some of you may be feeling a bit insecure, and that's okay if you are, but in order to get over that insecurity, you have to put yourself out there. That's the need to be vulnerable. You know, this is where you have to find your strength and your courage to make the moves that you need to make. Okay, let's take a look at the solar plexus. Now, the solar plexus is your personal power. Yeah, well, we have a yellow card. This is the solar plexus. 10 of Cups, ultimate wish fulfillment. Do you want the happiness? And I know that you do. I don't doubt that. But, you know, it's one thing to ask for happiness, another thing to allow it. The Crow, number 22. Interesting. 33, 22. I mentioned 11, the master numbers. You know, the Crow is about magic, making magic. It was a reading that I did the other day, and it's a good omen. It's about solving problems, but you got to be careful that you're not stuck in nostalgia or old stuff, because all that does is hold you back. You can visit the past, you can't live there. Okay. Now let's see what we need to know about this on this side here. Ah, the microphone. Well, this is about speaking up, expression, making known, speaking truth, communicating, social media. Very interesting. You know what I want to do? I just want to take a peek. I want to see what that's about. Yeah, somebody's diving deep into the emotions. As soon as I see the scuba diver, going within, self-examination, desire to know. And I said earlier, you don't always have to know, but this to me, in this context specifically, somebody's diving deep into their emotions. There's like a conversation that's needed either with yourself or with someone else. But let's get to the heart. Everybody wants to know about the heart chakra. Queen of Swords, you've got to make boundaries, even when it's difficult. You have to cut things out that no longer serve you. It's like a matter of saying, I love you, but I love myself more. Whatever the context, friends, family, love. You have to trust your intuition. You have so much strength that you don't even realize how powerful you are. You have to believe in yourself and freedom. We talked about breaking free. You know, you got to break free from the things that are holding you back because it's keeping you stuck. And let's see what else we need to know here. Shooting star. Okay. And very interesting. Quick action. Wish granted. Rare. Luck. Falling. Maybe you're falling in love. Interesting. 8-8 I just saw here. Reminded me, as above, so below. Take a second and make a wish. You know what I want to do? I want to go back to the original deck that I used at the top because it is called the Wishcraft Oracle. Take a second. Let's make a wish. Let's just do random, spontaneous. Okay, did you do it? Did you make a wish? Candle magic. Every day things get better. If you were wishing for things to get better, there you go. Maybe light a candle for yourself and make a wish on that candle. Okay? I don't know. I felt for some reason we needed to do that. Okay. Let's get back to... Okay, let's look at the throat chakra. We talked about a conversation needing to happen. Let's see what that throat chakra is saying. Oh, well, we got the throat chakra card. Knight of Cups, offering a cup of love. This could be somebody who wants to offer some love. The World, but you have to let some things go. Completion of a cycle. It says right on here, restriction, boundaries. You know, boundaries are always the topic. You got to let go of the things that no longer serve you. Again, forked road. For fork's sake. My goodness, always a decision. Are you in the old, are you in the new? This is my point. Are you in this energy here, where you're in the old cycle? Or are you going in this direction towards the new? It also says turning point, possibilities. Oh, the sun just popped out again here. Love it. Okay, let's take a look at the third eye, which is right here, the mind, openness, the Wheel of Fortune, growth, expansion, and good luck. And guess what? The third eye is Jupiter, and Jupiter is what rules the Wheel of Fortune. Sagittarius energy. Oh, you know what's so funny? Bottom of the deck, 11-11. 11-11. We talked about that earlier. Okay, I'll put it back in, see if it comes out again. Let's take a look at this Wheel of Fortune. What is this luck, growth, and expansion all about? This is the thing. You are going to shift whether you want it to or not because things are stuck and you need to make a move. Okay? Something is going to push you forward. You can fight the shift or you can go with it and see what happens. The decision will be made for you if you don't take the initiative. You have all the tools. Let me just remind you of something that I haven't mentioned in a little while, and that is about decision making when it comes to relationships or third-party situations or whatever's for your highest good. How many of you have ever been in a situation where you were waiting for somebody else to make the decision? You wanted them to leave so that you could move on. It'd be easier if they just found somebody else, or if they just, made the decision to let things go, or they made the decision to push this connection forward. I want to remind you that you are the one that's in control of your energy. Your life is not contingent on anyone else searching their soul. Your life is contingent on you. What tends to happen in situations where you want everybody else to make the decision, meaning you get stuck in between two worlds here, is that the person who takes the initiative to make the bold move will get the reward. So let's say you have somebody on one side who's the safe bet, but on the other side, you're in love with somebody who's unavailable for various reasons, whether they're in another relationship, whether they're emotionally unavailable, they're avoidant, there's family circumstances, financial circumstance, whatever it is. If the person who's the safe bet ups and leaves one day because they're tired of this going round and round and round, guess what's going to happen? They're going to go meet the love of their life because they had enough and made the boundary and said, I'm going to go live. And then where does it leave you? It leaves you in neither nor, right? Between worlds, like we said at the very top here. If you are the one that says, hey, listen, I love you, but I love myself more. And that can be in any direction, to the person who is kind of like the safe bet, or to the person who's unavailable, or to both for that matter. You put yourself first, you will get the rewards. But if you're sitting between two worlds and you're not making a decision, I want to remind you that that is making a decision to stay stuck, to stay confused, to stay in the I don't know. And, it's amazing how we want other people to make decisions, or to come correct. But this is a gentle reminder that you also have to come correct. So if you've been sitting in that position, you might want to think about how to unstuck the situation. What does it mean to make a move? What do you need to release and let go of? So let's take a look at the crown chakra. So the downloads, the clarity, the clear light coming through you. There you go, it's love. This proves exactly what I was just saying. When you make the moves, when you trust your intuition and you get yourself unstuck because you have all the tools, guess what happens? You get the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is about love. Connection. You don't get two cups without one. You've got to fill your own cup. You can't fill a second cup if you have nothing to give. Hence why the people who are unavailable don't end up committing, because they know that they can't fill your cup. It's funny how sometimes we have to take a page out of their book, even though it's not fun. Okay, let's see the oracle cards with that. Something is brewing, but it's also alchemy. And it's kind of funny that the alchemy card would come out. I'm actually going to be doing the Alchemist Book Club, or book talk, I should call it, on February 15th. I'm going to be doing, 4 Zoom classes where I'm going to go really in depth with the themes of the book, The Alchemist. Many of you have wanted to read it together. I taught it to my students when I was a high school teacher. It has changed my life. There's a reason why it's one of the most life-changing books of all time. And I'm so excited to sit down and talk about it from a spiritual perspective and teach it and help and guide. So if you're wanting to join that class, we're starting on February 15th. The details are on my website, but interesting. So alchemy, can't make that up. What is the process of alchemy? Alchemy is blending and brewing. It's turning something into something else. And I always say, take what you've learned from the past, apply it to the present so you can have a better future. You have to reflect, what have you learned from the past that you can apply to the right now so that things can be better down the road? Now remember, it's a process, it's a journey. It's not about the destination. And if you've read The Alchemist, you know what I'm talking about. And even just in conversation about trusting the process, it's the same thing. You have to trust that everything's going to work out exactly the way that it's supposed to. There we go. Okay, blinders. Interesting. This came up in a conversation I had with a friend this morning, actually, about victim mentality. Sometimes it's very easy to say, well, this always happens. Nothing ever works out for me. Insert whatever. I mean, there's so many reasons why we could be in victim mentality. But something is brewing here that's getting us out of the old energy, out of the confusion, because we need clarity. Many people resist clarity because clarity means change. Clarity means making change. Why do you think in deep soul connections that people run towards other partners And I hate to say that they're less than. I hate that, better than or less than. But energetically, they run to somebody who's less than because it's easier. They don't have to change. With you, they do. And sometimes that's the same for us, right? If we have clarity, then we have to address and make changes. Sometimes people stay in confusion because it's safer to be in confusion, right? But this is asking you, are you ready to focus on yourself and your future? So let's take a Healing Heart Oracle. I really love this deck. It's a new deck that I just recently purchased. Let's see what we need to know here. Forgiving Heart. Don't let the past imprison you in the present. What did I just say? Take what you've learned from the past, apply it to the present so you can have a better future. What lesson have you learned? I mean, let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to know, what is the biggest lesson you have learned in your past? For me, it's trust the process. And we can say how cheesy that line is all day, every day. I agree, it is. But it's the best lesson I've ever learned. I don't think I could think of anything better that sums up what the spiritual journey is all about. And I just want to make a point. Look at the coloring of this card in relation to this one. It's third eye, intuition. Let's take another one. I think the heart needs a lot of healing right now. Adventurous heart. Set sail on a trip of a lifetime. Are you ready? 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. 1 plus 8 is 9. It's interesting. Oh my God. 6 and 3 is 9. There we go. 36, 63, whatever. Well, nines. Nines are a number of solitude, and they are telling you that you are on the brink of major change. And only you can do it. Only you can make the change. Nobody can do this for you. Okay, before we go, let's take a Power of Surrender card. What do we need to surrender or surrender to? And I love how the sun is kind of peeking out for this. Surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. I really hope this resonates with you. If you'd like to discuss this further, I'm happy to do a personal reading with you. If you'd like to join the Alchemist Book Talk, it's available on my website. Thank you always for your kindness and support, your likes, your comments, your subscribe. They mean the world to me. So again, thank you very much, and I wish you an amazing day.